I think something that many Westerners don't learn in school is geomancy, and specifically in the Asian context. Now, I'm not saying I believe in the principles themselves, but it's important to understand the principles of East Asian geomancy in order to understand the geography, the human geography. I'm going to just give you one example, and this is related to Japan, but more specifically to Korea. So, in the Korean geomancy idea, which comes from the Chinese, but not exclusively, there are four cardinal directions, and each of them has its own kind of protective spirit. In the north, we have the black turtle, and in the south, we have the red phoenix, or sometimes it's a bird, and then in the west, you have a white tiger. But crucially, in the east, you have a dragon. And this dragon, I think it's a blue dragon, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. This dragon is, now, of course, it is a protective spirit for the east, but what lies to the east of South Korea, well, Korea, let's say, especially in the old days, Japan. So Japan and Japanese pirates, which are sometimes called wa or wako or wegu, they are they were like, let's say, between the years 600 AD and 1915, when Japan literally colonized Korea. The pirates were constantly attacking, especially in the Koguryo period. That's a really long time ago, and in the Koryo period and in the Choson period, probably especially in the Koryo and Choson periods. Now, if you ever visit South Korea, you'll notice that people didn't literally equate the Blue Dragon of the East to like protection against Japan, but they did put a lot of shrines facing east, especially of generals and kings. Now, one of the kings, and again, I may get this name wrong, it's Munmu, okay? So King Munmu, who was most likely also a general, because in Korea, it has always been invaded from every direction. So from the east from Japan, from the north and west from China, etc. Anyway, so this General Munmu, or King Munmu, who ruled over an empire that was, again, correct, I may be wrong on some of these details, but he was buried in the ancient capital of Korea, which is called Gyeongju, which was the capital of the Shilla dynasty, but he may have been before or after. I'm getting this mixed up. Anyways, literally, in order to enhance this protection uh, from the east, from the Japanese pirates and from the Japanese soldiers later on, they buried him at sea next to Gyeongju. And I do think that's really interesting. So he kind of functions as like the blue dragon pushing away the Japanese. And if you don't learn about these kinds of things in history class, it makes it less interesting. It's kind of like the seasoning on the history class, because even though I don't necessarily believe in these kind of astrological thinkings, a lot of people did. So if you know that when you visit South Korea, especially Gyeongju, which is really wonderful, by the way, then you'll know more about the fear of the constant threat of Japan and what people did to try to alleviate the constant threat of Japan.